We will begin. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi पाश्चात्य देश तारिणी श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण everyone. Hope all of you are doing well. So we finished our last topic, which we were discussing, the past life of Narad Muni. I hope all of you remember at least something regarding that. Okay. Today we'll be discussing on a very important topic. We'll discuss another storyline, which is related to reincarnation. So this is a story about a king who took 3 lives for perfection. So in 3 lives, he perfected his devotional service and went back to Godhead. Any guess who was he? Heard the name before? Yes, Shrikari?
Bharat Maharaj, Prabhuji.
Bharat Maharaj, yes. So Bharat Maharaj is that personality. So we'll discuss on his story. Before that, I'll just mention, carefully listen. Before that, we'll just discuss a verse which is which is known as the law of last thought. Note it down carefully. This is known as the law of last thought, which means whatever thought we contemplate during our last times, that's our destination. And if we remember Krishna, if we remember the Supreme Lord, we reach his supreme planet. And that is the verse, it's a very important verse from the Bhagavad Gita, especially. So this would be your homework for the next week. Okay? I'll just show you that verse. We'll just recite it once and then we'll begin our storyline. Okay? Just a second. I'll just show that verse to you. The screen is visible to everyone? Okay, all right. Okay. So we'll just recite this verse. Everyone can unmute. You can unmute yourself and we'll recite this. Done? Everyone unmute yourself and repeat after me. This is Bhagavad Gita, chapter 8, text 5, entitled as Attaining the Supreme. This is text 5. Okay? Please repeat after me. Antakale cha mam eva
Antakale Samaveva
smaran muktva kalevaram
स्मरणमुक्तावकलेवरम्
yah prayati samadbhavam
यः
Yayati
प्रयाति
Samadbhavam
समद्भावम्
yati nasti atra samshayah.
Yati Nastyatra Samshayah.
Okay, so we'll just recite the word meaning. Someone would read this. Ram, would you read this? Just recite the synonyms and then we'll take the translation.
Antakale, at the end of life. Cha, also. Mam, me. Eva, certainly. Smaran, remembering. Muktva, quitting. Kalevaram, the body. Ya, he who prayati goes, sa, he, matbhavam, my nature, yati, achieves, na, not, asti, there is, atra, he, samsaya, doubt.
Doubt. Samshaya, doubt. So, translation by Srila Prabhupada. Someone would read this. We have, who will we have? Shambhavi, would you read this? The translation? This?
Yeah. And whoever at the end of his life quits his body, remembering me alone at once, attains my nature, of there is no doubt.
Of this, there's no doubt. So, any guess who's speaking this verse? Who's speaking this? Yeah, anyone apart from, yeah, Shambhavi, please.
Krishna?
Yeah, Krishna is speaking this verse to Arjun, and he's mentioning that when a person is about to leave his body, and if he remembers Krishna at the end, so he attains Krishna's nature, he becomes spiritual, attains his abode. Now, we'll recite the next verse, which is actually the law of last thought, which was applied to Bharat Maharaj. So, this principle you should remember, law of last thought. So this is the verse, the next verse, very important. Okay, unmute yourself. We'll recite this. Everyone, unmute yourself, please. Okay. Text 6. Yam yam vapi smarana bhavam
Yam vapi smaranabhavam
tyajati ante kalevaram
Rajati Kalevaram
tam tam evaiti kaunteya
Tam Evaiti Kaunteya
sada tad bhava bhavitah.
Sada Tadbhava Bhavitaha.
Yeah. So this is Bhagavad Gita, chapter 8, text number 6. This is called the law of last thought. Whatever state we remember, we become attain to that destination. Now we'll just recite the word meanings. I'll recite the word meaning. Yam yam means whatever. Api, at all. Smarana, remembering. Bhavam, nature. Tyajati, gives up. Ante, at the end. Kalevaram means the body. Kalevaram was there in the previous verse and this verse also. So Kalevaram means body. Tam tam, similar. Similarly, as you must have heard the phrase in English language, like, right? Similarly, that person what he does, eva, certainly, for sure. Eti gets Kaunteya, O son of Kunti. Sada means always. Tat, that. Bhava, state of being. Bhavitaha, remembering. Okay? So, translation. Would someone read the translation? Arut, you would read the translation, please?
Whatever state of being one remembers when he quits his body, O son of Kunti, that state he will attain without fail.
Without fail, yes. So Krishna mentions in these verses. So this is your homework for the next week. Kindly write it down. I'll also post the verse in the group, but you please remember and write it down. Chapter 8, text 5 and 6. So in this verse, Krishna is mentioning that whatever state, whatever we remember at the end of our life, when our body, when we're about to die, when a person is about to die, about to quit his body, and whatever the last thought he remembers, he attains to that destination without fail. Okay. So, based on this verse and a story of reincarnation that a soul travels to different bodies, we'll now start our story of life of Bharat Maharaj. Okay, so I'll just share the presentation. Yeah, is it visible to everyone? Can someone confirm if that's visible?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, okay. Thank you, Sukriti. So Okay. So this is one of our courses which we do in our college preaching, Gita for All Made Easy. The course is titled as Game. And this is lessons from the three lives of the great King Bharat. A actually very beautiful story. It is actually full of very exciting and very educating also, full of lessons. And it's very important for us to become a serious devotee after hearing this story because it gives a lot of lessons. So here very, very carefully. We'll keep reading also. Okay. So then we have questions and answers also in this presentation. So we'll keep asking all of you. Okay. So now someone read this please. Sukriti, would you read this please?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Once the world was ruled by a very wise and experienced king named Maharaj Bharata. After ruling the world for many long years, being aware of the ultimate goal of life, he renounced everything that is dear to one's heart, his queen, family, and his vast empire, and went to a place called Pulashrama in the foothills of the Himalayas for pursuing his spiritual career. There he lived alone in the forest along the bank of the Gandaki River.
Gandaki River. You know what is Gandaki River? Do you know what is Shaligram Shila? Have you heard this name before? Shaligram Shila is another form, deity form of Lord Vishnu. Okay, yeah, Shrikari must have heard. For others, I'm telling. Shaligram Shila is another form of Lord Vishnu, and we can say that it's in form of a stone, and it's also worshipped in India. And many devotees they have the Shaligram Shila. They worship Shaligram Shilas, and there are different varieties of Shaligram Shilas. There is Narsingh Shila, there is Dwarka Shila, and there are different incarnations of Lord. So this Shaligram Shilas are actually found in Gandaki River. This Gandaki River is in the foothills of the Himalayas. I would say to be precise, it's near Nepal in the northern region of India. It's near Nepal. It's in Nepal actually. So in Nepal there is this river called Gandaki, where we find this Shaligram Shilas. So now Bharat Maharaj, uh, he was a very great king. He was a great king. He was a king of the entire planet. And as it is mentioned, as Sukriti read already, to pursue his spiritual career. Okay, all of us pursue our material careers. We are pursuing. All of you must be studying, right? Hopefully, all of you study. So everyone studies and they make their material careers. We get a job, we earn some money, and then we keep getting promoted. But we should also take care of our spiritual career. And how did Bharat Maharaj took care? He left everything, which was very difficult to give up. He was the king of the entire planet. So someone who is the king of an entire planet, he owns so many palaces, his wife, his children, and his subjects, his kingdom. So much power, so much wealth, so much fame, so much prosperity, but very difficult to give up. Still, Bharat Maharaj was so renounced, he was so attached to the Supreme Lord, he gave up everything, renounced everything to perfect his life, and went to the Himalayas. Okay. And then to pursue a spiritual career, he used to live near the Gandaki River in the foothills of the Himalayas. Now, a question to all of you. Do you know who is the father of Bharat Maharaj? Anyone? Who is the father of King Bharat? The story comes in the fifth canto. Anyone? Any guess? No guess? Any wild guesses? No idea? Okay. So, the father of Bharat Maharaj is Lord Rishabdev. Heard this name before? So Rishabdev was the incarnation of Lord, and Rishabdev, while he was the king of this planet, He instructed his 100 sons. He had 100 sons. So he instructed them on the principles of devotional service. These instructions are given, also mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5th, Chapter 5. We'll also take these instructions sometime in the future session. So Rishabdev had 100 sons, and the eldest son, his name was Bharat. So after Rishabdev retired from his kingdom, Bharat Maharaj took over and he became the king of the entire planet. And after him, this entire planet was named as Bharatavarsha. It is this Bharat Maharaj who was a very great king, and after his name, it was named as Bharatavarsha. So he was a very great king, as we understood already, you know. And he retired to the Himalayas and lived in the forests. Now, this is starting of the story. The story unfolds. He retired and went to the Himalayas, and then next, what happens? So remember, whatever we read, and we will be having question answers also. Okay, someone would read this. Damodar, you are there? Would you like to read? He's
Oh,
there.
yes.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Each morning, Bharata worshipped the Supreme Lord.
Hmm? Supreme Lord, Hare Krishna.
recommended in the
Yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
and is recommended in the Vedic scriptures. He offered these simple edibles to Lord Krishna and then took them as his meals. By his constant meditation upon the personality of Godhead, Bharata began to experience symptoms of spiritual ecstasy.
Yeah. So what is being mentioned here, as Damodar read, that each morning he used to get up early in the morning. That's what we do, right? All devotees are supposed to do, getting up early in the morning, chanting, attending Mangalarti. That's what Bharat Maharaj used to do. He worshipped the Supreme Lord by chanting, and given in the Rig Veda, he collected fruits and do now imagine. This is a king. This is a king who lived in royal palaces. He had royal treatment. He used to eat royal food. And giving up all of that drastically, he comes to the standard of eating fruits and roots. This much austerity is not required for devotees, at least in present times, because none of us will come to temple then. Okay? And all of us, in our first class, all of us agreed that we like prasad and kirtan. That's the two most likeable things by devotees. So if we'll be given roots and fruits every Sunday, whenever we go to temple, no one will come to temple. But Bharat Maharaj was practicing very strict austerities. He was very austere, practicing strict austerities. And then he constantly meditated on the Supreme Lord, and he began to experience symptoms of spiritual ecstasy. He developed emotions for the Lord. He developed spiritual ecstasy. He used to feel loving emotions for the Lord by his constant practice and austerity. So much austerity he was performing, very strict. And he was a great king also. Okay, now what happens next? So, this is a question. You can type the response in your chat box. This is multiple choice. Okay. Question is, the purpose of Bharata going to Pula ashram was A. To meditate and merge into the supreme light. B. To take a break from the stress and struggle arising in kingly life. C. To pursue his spiritual career by worshipping Supreme Lord to attain love of God. And D. To renounce everything that is dear to one's heart, his queen, family, and vast empire. Okay, 30 seconds for your answer. Srikari says C. Prem Pradamataji says, yeah, Ram says C. Damodar written C. Arut C. C, Shambhavi says C. Yes, C is correct answer. C is correct answer. He pursued a wanted to pursue spiritual career by worshipping Supreme Lord to attain love of God. But as I said, there was another purpose also mentioned before. To renounce everything that is dear to one's heart, his queen, family, and vast empire. He renounced everything. So he renounced and wanted to pursue spiritual career, both detachment and attachment. As I already mentioned, this is multiple choice. So correct answer is C and D both. Both are the options. So now this was the question, and we will move ahead. Okay. Yes. So one day an incident happens. Bharat Maharaj notices something. Okay. And then what happens? That we'll see now. Yes, Srikari, please read.
Bharat gives shelter to a deer. One day, while Bharata was meditating near the bank of the river, a doe came there to drink water. While she drank water with fearful eyes, a lion nearby in the forest roared loudly. As the pregnant doe fled in fear and jumped across the river, a baby deer fell from her womb into the swiftly flowing waters. The mother deer, trembling in fright, weakened and pained by the miscarriage, entered a cave where she soon died.
Yeah, such an unfortunate incident, right? Because of the pain of the miscarriage, what happened? The mother deer died. And all was left, a baby deer was left in the flowing rivers, about to drown himself. And Bharat, while meditating, Bharat Maharaj saw this. So he saw this. He sees this that the baby deer, the mother deer died, lion roared, mother deer out of miscarriage. Miscarriage happened, and a baby deer fell down, and mother died, going to a cave. My response, my question to all of you, you can unmute or write in the chat box. What would you have done seeing this situation? Seeing a baby deer flowing and mother died. What would you have done in that case? Or we would have taken a photograph so that we put on status. Nowadays, even that's prevalent. Okay, Ram says save the deer, of course. Go to save the deer. Oh, yes, Shambhavi says. Yes, I would have saved the deer. Yeah. None of us would, none of you would take the pic with your mobile phone. Of course, we are devotees, we don't waste time. Okay, yeah. Save the deer before it drowns. Damodar will also save the deer. All of us would have saved the deer, and naturally, this is what Bharat Maharaja did. So, next, what happens? Bharat Maharaj tries to save, as you can see in the picture, Bharat Maharaj is saving the baby deer. He's an infant, very small, recently just born. Okay, so yeah, Ram, read this, please.
As the sage Bharata observed the baby deer floating helplessly down the river, he felt great compassion. Bharat lifted the animal from the water and, knowing it to be motherless, brought it to his ashram. Because Bharat was self-realized, he saw all living beings with equal vision. He fed the deer with fresh green grass daily and tried to make it comfortable.
Yeah. Daily he used to feed the deer. He was very compassionate. He took care of the deer like his own mother, like his own son, because the deer was motherless, and that's what all of us would have done. Natural. It's very natural that whenever someone is in trouble, we should extend a helping hand to them. It's very natural. Okay, and Bharat Maharaj tried to make it comfortable so that he's not fearful, he remains secure, he remains safe. Okay, another question. Bharat lifted the helplessly floating deer from the water and brought it to his ashram because what was the reason? Number one, A. He was self-realized to see all living beings as spirit souls, children of God. This can be a multiple choice also. B. Its mother doe had died, leaving the child doe as an orphan. C. It is natural for any saintly person to feel compassion for suffering souls. And D. It would be unable to have a pet and a sweet relationship for a change in the dry jungle. What do you think is the correct answer? This is multiple choice again. Of course, it's not D. It would be valuable to have a pet deer in the jungle and taking photos with him. Hashtag I love my pet. Yeah, so we have a response. Yes, your responses, please. BNC, Damodar has written BNC, okay. Ram is writing ANC, AC, and anyone else? Girls, please, fast. Shrikari says ANC, Aurute ANC, Damodar ANC, yeah. And we are waiting for Shambhavi. Shambhavi gave the answer? Not yet. Actually, correct answer is all three. A, B, and C. As we mentioned earlier, we discussed earlier that he was self-realized to see everyone as child of God. Second, because the deer was motherless. And third, he felt compassion for suffering souls. Of course, no one wrote D that Bharat Maharaj would go, will get a pet, and he'll be very happy that the deer is so cute, and he'll have fun with the deer playing around. Now, till this point, whatever he did was all right. It's natural to feel compassion. Now, what will happen? Now the story takes a twist. Yes. So this someone can read this. Somebody, please read.
Soon, however, he began to develop great attachment for the deer. He laid down with it, walked with it, bathed with it, and even ate with it. When he wanted to enter the forest to collect fruits, flowers, and roots, he would take the deer with him, fearing that if he left it behind, he would be killed by dogs, jackals, or tigers. Bharata took great pleasure seeing the deer leap and frolic in the forest like a child. Sometimes he would carry the deer on his shoulders when he slept. When he slept, the deer would rest upon his chest and would sometimes even kiss it. Thus, his heart became bound by affection for the deer.
Yeah. So he was playing around Bharat Maharaj, frolicking. Bharat Maharaj liked the deer very much, just a baby, and always roaming around him. And he would take him along wherever he go. He would kiss him, and he would lay down upon his chest. He was a very small deer. Okay. So all the time he would spend with him. Now, my question to all of you, do you feel there is some problem, or is it all right? There's some problem? You think so? What's the problem now?
He's becoming attached.
Yeah, he's becoming attached to the deer. So, like, as we discussed earlier, it's very natural. It's just a baby. He's just taking him along. He takes him along everywhere he goes. He's laying down, laying down with him upon his chest, and he's frolicking. Bharat Maharaj is taking care of him so that he's not eaten by jackals and lions. So, it's not a problem as such. What's the problem?
I think because he is super attached to the deer, he's like neglecting spiritual life.
Yeah, good point. So, yes, Ram also said the correct answer, but this is half the answer. Actually, because of attachment, there's no problem in taking care of people and taking care of anyone. It's very natural for being to show compassion. But what happened in due course of time, Bharat Maharaj started neglecting his spiritual duties. And you remember the first slide we discussed? What happened? Why did he come to Pulaha Ashram? Why did he come there? To pursue a spiritual career. Correct? That's what we discussed, right? You all gave answers also. To pursue a spiritual career. And now what's happening? Instead of spiritual career, he's giving all this time to the deer, always playing around the deer. So he started neglecting his spiritual life. That's a problem. The last slide, we'll just read this and for today we'll end here. Okay, who's there behind Radha Prem Prada Mataji? Hare
Ishani.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna Guruji.
Yeah.
Uh,
Who's there behind?
Ishani.
Ishani, yeah. Okay, okay. Sure. Yes, Ishani, please read this.
Being attached to raising the deer, Bharata gradually became neglectful of his meditation upon the Supreme Lord. He thus became distracted from the path of self realization, which is the actual goal of human life. The Vedas remind us that the human form is obtained only after the soul undergoes millions of births in lower species of life.
Yeah, thank you, Ishani. So, as we discussed earlier, being attached, he became so attached, he neglected his spiritual duties. Actually, the point is he lost the purpose. The purpose is lost. And why the purpose is lost, see, why it's a great failure for Maharaj Bharat. Just hear attentively. He's becoming attached to a deer, a small deer. What's the value of deer? There are so many deers in the jungle. There's so many deers in the forest. There are so many rabbits, deers, peacocks, many beautiful animals. Bharat Maharaj lost his purpose. Why he lost his purpose? Because he forgot why he started. Whenever we become neglectful of our spiritual duties or anything, we should always remember why we started. And what was the price Bharat Maharaj paid for coming to Pula Ashram? What all did he leave? What we discussed earlier, who remembers? What all he renounced? Who remembers? Yes, please. Shambhavi, yeah.
His kingdom.
Hmm. His kingdom, his wife, his sons, his wealth, his power, his fame, his influence, he left everything. And now what happened? He became attached to a deer. He forgot what price he paid to come to ashram and pursue spiritual life. But he took that opportunity cheaply. Even though he was so advanced that he was developing emotions for the Supreme Lord, he was at the power stage, developing ecstasy, but got attached to a deer. He became so attached that he neglected his spiritual duties. Okay, and further lessons we'll cover the next week. How Bharat Maharaj neglected his duties, what happened next, his other lives also. So at least for two or three more sessions will require. So this we'll discuss next week. We'll stop it for now. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Hope the story is interesting. It's not as interesting and like a kind of horror or thrill, but it's very much educating. All right, so stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Any questions, comments, corrections, some take home message, something you like the most? Anyone? Or we just take names and directly ask Prempada Mataji what to do?
Oh, yeah, you can individually ask what they take over take away to make grace
Yeah,
from
sure,
today's
sure.
class.
We'll just directly ask. Yeah, sure. Yes, beginning with Ram.
Um, I think that it's good that Bharat Maharaj had compassion for the deer, but he should have limited himself so he didn't get as attached as he did.
Yeah, good point. He should have limited himself. Good point. Yes, Shri, would you speak something?
I think that in our daily life, we do so many material activities, some hobbies which we really love. So I think when we get too much engrossed in those activities, we should be very careful that we don't reject our spiritual life, like we don't chant our rounds for the day or something just because of being engrossed in some other activity. I think we have to balance out both our spiritual activities and material activities.
Yeah, good point. Thank you. Thank you, Shri. Shambhavi would speak something. Anything you learned? Just one statement.
Um, I learned like we should always remember what we came or what we're doing this for, so that we don't get so that we don't get on the wrong path.
You don't get on the wrong path. We should remember the purpose. Okay, very good. Thank you, Shambhavi. Yes, Arut?
I really liked how the story explained about how like um he, like we're in this we were he was like trying to focus on spiritual life, but then he saved a deer, and then really he focused more on the deer, which is a good thing that he's caring about like other other life forms, but at the same time he kind of forgot about spiritual life
Mm,
and what he should do for this his spiritual life.
mm, yes. Thank you, Arut. Thank you. Beautiful point. Damodar, would you speak something?
I I understand it like how the how Bharat Maharaj like when he was first doing like the spiritual life, but then money from the deer he got like too attached to it like it and I understand that you should not get like too attached to something that you forgot the main purpose what you were doing.
Mm, good point. Thank you. Thank you, Damodar. Yes, Ishani?
I think it's important to remember to not get too attached to material things. And I really like the way this story like helped explain that in like also an interesting way.
Mm-hmm. Yes, good point. So the basically the underlying principle which we learn here, even though we are compassionate, we are concerned, genuinely concerned for something, but it shouldn't hamper our spiritual practices. That's the main lesson we learn here. And how it hampered to such an extent for Bharat Maharaj. This we'll learn the next week. The story continues for the next week. And all of you remember your homework, right? Bhagavad Gita, chapter 8, text 5 and 6. So please memorize with the translation and we'll hear from everyone. Please try to memorize, and even though you don't do it perfectly, just give it a try next week. Okay. So we'll see all of you next week. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, जगत गुरु शिल प्रभुपाद की जय, समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे, हरि हरि बोल. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. See you next week.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.